There are so many terms in ABA that it can be hard to keep track. We love our acronyms. One that often gets confused is verbal behavior or VB. So, what is verbal behavior? Hi, I'm Shira.
And I'm Shayna. We're behavior analysts that create weekly content about how to teach children with autism so that they make real progress. And we create shareable resources to make your job just a little easier. Today's topic is all about what is a verbal behavior. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on new video releases.
So, I don't know about you, but I've seen plenty of students who were able to label hundreds of items, but really struggled with getting their needs met or spontaneous requesting for those items. Or similarly, students who can tact but not receptively ID. So, one of the challenges that we have is that it's so important to teach across all of these language operands. And sometimes we get too focused teaching on one operand and not expanding those skills across all language operands. So, what do we even mean by language operands?
Well, verbal behavior, VB, teaches communication and language. It's really based off of Skinner's old book that probably many of us had to be forced to read in grad school, the 1954 Skinner's Verbal Behavior. But really, it's based off the idea that language is behavior. So ABA is the umbrella term. So think of ABA as an overall arcing umbrella, and VB is just one type of ABA, just like discrete trial teaching is one form of ABA, or natural environment teaching is another form of ABA, or precision teaching, or PRT. I could go on and on and on. So VB is really just another form of ABA teaching.
And what it focuses on is that when we teach language, it's not just about whether or not a student has language, but it focuses on how they're using that language. So you may have the word cup, but are you able to ask for a cup and match a cup and follow the instructions to get the cup and identify that it is a cup and have some introverbals related to a cup? So it's all of these things that focus on language across operands. So across different ways that we use language is really an operand. And it's not just on do we have the language or not.
It really goes into the function of the word. And, I was always taught with the word pizza. It's not enough to label pizza, but when you walk into a house and you smell the pizza cooking in the oven, that you can go, "Oh, that's pizza." You can request for the pizza, that you know that you eat pizza and not throw it against the wall, hopefully, and that you can, answer questions about pizza when people ask you what's your favorite food, all of that kind of stuff.
And one of the other things that we gain from the VB approach is this concept of mixing and varying. So instead of focusing on one program and one scale at a time, so doing 10 trials of matching and then moving on to another program and doing 10 trials of something else, the VB approach really encourages lots of mixing and varying. So if you have a couple targets, you may jump from receptively IDing an item to answering a question about an item to manding for an item to matching an item. So it's really about, again, across operands and mixing and varying all those skills so that language is learned a little bit more naturally.
A true VB approach tells us that we should be teaching about 20% new targets and mixing and varying in 80% of master targets. So you'll see real true VB teachers, and it's an art, it really is, taking cue cards and having cue cards. There are different colors and they'll have them in different piles. The colors mean things in terms of whether they're certain operands or whether they're mastered or not mastered. And, they can, teach the current skill and then pick up these cue cards as master targets and recite these as well. It's really, really cool to watch. I am not that structured when I teach VB. I teach mixing and varying quite often, and I teach across operands. Sure, and I preach about teaching across operands, but I don't typically do the 80% mastered and 20% new. It's more like a 50-50, or sometimes it's even reverse, like a 20% mastered and 80% new teaching, because I've got to get so many trials in to get some students to learn.
So it's really important that our students learn that language is meaningful and we're connecting these, abstract words that we're teaching them with actual items and objects so that they're learning to label something. It's meaningful because then they can ask for it. And all of those ways that we can make language more meaningful for our learners. If any of you have a similar student who really struggles with requesting but has lots of labels, go check out our verbal requesting blog on using the echoic demand transfer procedure, which is really helpful for those learners.
And like with any programs that you're using, you want to make it fun for your learners, right? And one way to do this is by finding preferred reinforcers. And you can find a video on how to use a preference assessment to find those reinforcers for your learners as well. So click the link in and around this video to get your free verbal operants guide.
For more information on what is verbal behavior, click the link on or around this video or in the description to claim your free download on verbal operants. We also encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and leave a like and comment below if you have further questions.